me pick out the outfits. I was so shocked. I will say that I didn't know that just everyone really does not like that one dress that I like so much. Even my closest friends, when they see it, they're like, it's okay. And I really love that dress. And then also Chris Harkins did text me. I should post the text. And he's like, my favorite suit shoes are those really tall platform Versace ones. And he's like, you need to let everyone know. And I was like, okay, I'll get right on it. So everyone, those are actually his favorite shoes, not the little booties. Even though he does love the booties. Hi guys. Okay, how did I do? I did my own makeup today. I hope Danielle's proud. I'll send her a picture later and be like, how did I do? Thank you guys so much for wanting to do this with me. I thought this was a fun little thing to make up for the fact that obviously Chicago got canceled as a shock to all of us. So I just wanted to, come on here. Thank you for submitting so many amazing questions. Some of them that I'm kind of stumped on. I don't know the answers, so we'll see if I can actually answer them. But I've compiled as many as I can to be able to answer for you. So I think I'll get started with some questions. Do you like the earrings? Yes, someone said that too. And I'll try to also keep track of some questions that pop up organically when you guys are on. But these are Cezanne. And I love them. They were given to me by somebody in the community. So, yeah. Okay. I will. There's a piece of fuzz flying by my face. Thanks, guys. It sounds like you guys think my makeup looks good. I'm like blushing because I try so hard. So thank you very much. Hi, everyone. Hi from Brazil. Hi, Turkey. Hi, Brazil. I'm going to save the point is to save the live, but trust me, sometimes stuff does happen. And, like everyone knows, like I've gotten better at technology, but sometimes stuff goes wrong. And this is my first live in a long time. So you can see Ford in a little bit right now. He's chilling. He'll make an appearance. He's right there. He'll make an appearance in a little bit. I don't want to wake him up from a nap. He's like doing the, in his dreams. So, thanks, guys. Thanks for hello, Texas. Yes, and South Africa. Oh my God, I have to say, there's something so beautiful. Somebody asked me one of my favorite parts. I'll start with questions. Somebody asked me what was my favorite part about social media, and I think it's that what just happened is we're all over the world right now. Ireland. Oh no, they've been to Ireland, Germany. Like, it's just amazing that we all can connect on this platform from anywhere in the world, and there's something so amazing about that. And so, I think that's probably one of, if not my favorite things, that we all get to connect no matter where we are in the world, but also that, I think I said at one of the conventions once, is it's so great to be able to interact with fans and kind of, we play a character and we know how much it means to us, and we hear that it means something to other people, but to actually get to connect with everybody and meet the people that feel passion and moved by the characters you play, and then on top of it build this amazing community that has come from it. So I just I love social media for a lot of ways. There's obviously things. Someone said, what's the worst part? I'm like, those are obvious ones for the most part. There's the people that cannot be so nice, obviously, but I think what's beautiful is I think I've tried to always tell people I very much ignore anything that's ever mean, and I'm very good at blocking people because you just don't need that. I learned to have empathy for that, but for people that are saying mean things, but at the same time, I really don't see it anymore because it's just like anyone who's ever said anything mean has been blocked. So I don't even allow that into my life. Wales, oh my God. Wales, people from Wales, we need to talk about your language. I struggle understanding it. I know, one of these days. Argentina too. Oh my God. This is so protect your peace. Exactly. And I think that's a good lesson for everyone, is to protect our peace. And Mexico's here as well. So exactly, guys. There is no room for haters. And it is really important that we all protect our peace. The Netherlands, England. Oh my God. Barbados. Wow, Northern Ireland, Chile. Oh my God, guys. That makes me kind of emotional. Poland, from all over. From New York, Scotland. Wow, I love this. Thank you. Some people are sick of me. Someone said I love you in red. Peru, Thailand. Oh my God. I'm so in a shock. Someone said they're sick of me in red, but at the same time, and not in a mean way, just like, can you wear some other color? And I tried and I wore some other colors and I really liked it, but I just feel there's something, it's like kind of wearing a costume, and I really like that I get to wear red because it feels like conventions is really the only time I wear it. I don't tend to wear it a ton outside of that, even though now my closet is very full of red from Venezuela and Switzerland. Wow. Ontario. Who does my makeup? Guys, I did it myself today. Okay, I'm gonna start answering questions, even though I'm loving all of this. Virtual hugs to everyone. Virtual hugs to absolutely everyone. That's the one thing everyone knows me, Indonesia, Chicago, yes! Just because I got excited, because I know there's a lot of people that still went to Chicago, whether it was they couldn't get their flights reimbursed or their hotels reimbursed, and so they just, Austria, Saudi Arabia, wow. So I think, it's nice to see that some people got to just go and at least make the most of it. And so I know there's a bunch of people in Chicago right now really just trying to make it more of a moment of connection. Because I think there's also an element too, guys, that for those that don't go to conventions, and people that go to all the conventions let me know, is there's this element of, I think at this point, don't get mad at me for saying this, but I think at this point, it's less that you guys want to see me and more that we all just want to hang out. I think I'm starting to realize that, it's kind of going to you getting to summer camp and going to hang out with all the people you really enjoy to hang out with. And so I feel like that it's really cool to be a part of that. I love that you guys in Chicago. I hope everyone is having a great time and making the most of it, of a pretty, not great situation. So yeah. Okay. Sorry. I'm now getting stuck reading questions. Okay. So someone said, did working on Found change your perspective on acting at all? If so, why? I will say that every character I play definitely, change it. It grows kind of the tools you have in your tool belt, and it pushes you to go, okay, well, how would I play this character different than any other character I've already played before? I played the characters that are quite, there's the conniving or the mysterious, or the ones that are, maybe mentally unstable. I've done those ones before. And so you kind of draw from the things that worked with that character and then you build on it. So, yeah, I don't think Found itself changed my perspective on acting. I've always had the same perspective on acting, which is you dive into the character and you figure it out. Who is this person? What does she do? How does she tick? And that's an evolution too, as scripts come out and things move on. It's a little different with movies because your script is set. But really with TV, you're kind of discovering more and more of the character as time goes on. We can all say that with even Maya. As time went on, I didn't know all of those things and those layers were going to be there. And they just kind of kept, as you peeled back, you saw more and more and more. So yeah, Found didn't change my perspective, but it definitely added another tool to my tool belt, if that makes sense. Does that make sense to anybody? I want to make sure. I realize a lot of people, because these questions get asked it, and I think it's probably naive of me to think that, is I realize there's a lot of questions sometimes and I answer them at conventions, but that's in a small group of people. And so I realize these questions get asked, but I'm like, oh, I've answered that. I won't answer that. I don't need to answer that again. And then I realize, a lot of people don't know the answer to that because they weren't, right now in Chicago, what did somebody say? I don't know what that means. I was like, huh? So I think, what was I doing? I lose my train of thought all the time these days. What was I talking about? Oh, when people ask questions. So someone had asked, what was my most emotional scene to shoot? I don't know if they meant ever or just in Station 19. But probably the most emotional one that I can think of that I usually comment a lot on is the scene where Maya got 5150'd. I think that was a pretty emotional, dark scene. I've done scenes very similar to that in other roles I've played. But it's interesting. All of the going back to that question of what has changed my perspective or the tools in my tool belt is every time I've had to do an emotional scene, it's gotten me to the point where I was able to do that scene with Maya in the hospital. I was able to perform that and get there because I'd had so many other times before where I did something similar. And so, yeah, so another tool in the tool belt. It stopped moving, so I don't know what happened. What did I do? Australia. You guys know my favorite animal is the quokka. Like I've always said, like it's my spirit animal is the quokka, and if I ever come back as an animal, I want to come back as a hippo. So those are two things, just random facts. But I love quokkas, and if anyone doesn't know what a quokka is, look up what a quokka is. Someone write how to spell it. It's like Q-U... quokka. Look it up. I swear it's my spirit animal. I love quokkas, and they're from Australia. I think that's very much an assumption. I'm not an expert, but I'm pretty sure they are from Australia. Hi, the UK. What advice did you give? That's a good one too. Okay, wait, I'm gonna go back to the one hippo. Somebody wrote hippo. We can have an whole nother conversation about coming back as a hippo another day, but I just feel like quokka, there you go. Someone who's Quokka is a quokka. Yes, people are like, quokka makes so much sense. Yes, like I love quokkas. They're my spirit animal. But yeah, a hippo, because I just love hippos. They kind of like, you don't realize how much they kind of demand. Like they are like, I just love hippos. And their ears are adorable too. What is something I've learned from directing or shadowing that it can be applied to everyday life? This one was interesting because I was like, gosh, I thought it would be easier to answer this. And then I started to think what the answer would be and I couldn't think of it right away. But I think what I've learned is to be more willing to go with the flow. I'm someone who overthinks. For anyone who really knows me, I overthink a lot. And I really overthink things before I decide to make a decision, even though it feels to a lot of people like I make pretty quick decisions. Like my brain's been going 100 miles an hour before I make that decision. And I think I was used to get stuck on this idea that if I put all this energy, mental energy into figuring something out, deciding it, say, we'll use an example of like going on a vacation and I've decided all the things we're going to do. And then I would get there and be like, we got to do all those things that like I did all this research for and I've decided and I've timed it out and I figured it out. And I just realized you have to be more go with the flow. And you would think that this industry that I'm in would create that, but it actually caused me more to want to be more able to control things because this industry is so uncontrollable, unstable, the whole thing. And so I think what directing has really taught me is to be more in the moment and really take in the moment, because when you're directing, you can prep. And I've learned this shadowing so many directors and getting to direct myself, is you do all this prep, but on the day you really have to let it go. It's similar to acting, but I didn't equate it to the same thing that I have with directing, because directing really, I mean, you're the person, the leader, kind of telling everyone what to do. And you have to realize on the day, things happen, things pivot, stuff shifts, you know, an actor got sick and couldn't come in. Someone doesn't like their scene, you know, the prop that you had didn't work, the stunt went wrong. Like so many possible variables can go wrong that I think directing really has taught me to go more just with the flow. And it's been a very valuable lesson. Let's see. Oh, wow, this one was a great one. Someone says, how does it make you feel that after Maya's mental health storyline that people went and got therapists of their own? And I love to hear that. I'm a very big advocate of therapy. Oh, oh, my earring fell, guys. I'm a very, sorry. I'm a very big advocate of therapy, journaling, whatever works for you, to be honest. Some people feel that just talking to friends is the way to do that too, but I really value being able to talk to someone that has an unbiased opinion about my life and about things, and that I can really talk to. And that's a trained professional to kind of not tell me what to do, but kind of explain to me my emotions and things. And I've gotten so much better at being able to verbalize what I'm feeling and my emotions to the people that I need to verbalize them to. Someone's laughing at me dropping my earring. Okay, going to the next question. How do I unwind after a convention? So I just sleep. Like, I think in that last video, the day in the life, when I just pass out on the thing, like I usually have a good meal when I get back to the hotel or wherever. There's always, sometimes there's dinners that are planned and stuff like that. And And so I sometimes get distracted. I'm reading and then I'm like, I'll go back and read some of these in a second because they're really good, but I lose my train of thought. And yeah, so I usually eat a really good meal. And then ideally, I love to be able to sleep. That doesn't always happen. But I mean, one time I think I just slept for like 13 hours after. And it's not because, just to clarify, it's not because I'm like, oh my God, I'm so exhausted. Like there's an exhaustion level to it because it's like exhausted from going to Disneyland. Like it was just so much stimulus and so much fun that you're like, okay, my body needs to shut down for a little bit. So it's less of like this draining exhaustion and more of like this really fun, stimulating exhaustion. So I just kind of have to sleep after. Give myself a good meal, sleep, and just really like try to do that. It doesn't always happen, but I think that's really important after a convention and to really take it all in. I love to get to look at the pictures and videos and kind of see all the stuff that happens. Sometimes I forget some of the stuff that happened because it's so fast and it's so in the moment. And my brain kind of is like playing rewind and clocking all the things. So I'll go to a question here. Let's see. I have not watched all seasons of Grey's Anatomy. I've gotten up to season 9. There was someone in the airport that was like, I've seen Grey's Anatomy 3 times from start to finish. And I was like, how? I literally just it was just a visceral reaction. I just went, how? Like, how is this possible? And I'm always impressed when people can watch it over. And I know how much it means to people and people that watch it. And I love that. I mean, the first seasons, like I couldn't stop watching it. And then I don't know what happened, whether it was just life or traveling. I haven't really been able to get back into it, but it's a phenomenal show. There's a reason why it's been on for 21 going on 22 seasons, but I have not seen all the seasons of Grey's Anatomy. Kentucky. I love Kentucky. I went there for the Kentucky Derby. The Bourbon Trail Kentucky Derby. Yes. The Kentucky Derby. No. The Derby? Kentucky Derby. Yeah. Why does that sound so weird coming out of my mouth? The Kentucky Derby. And that was so much fun. Yes, I've watched. Someone said, have you watched Station 19? Yes, I watched every episode. I think also too, by shadowing and directing, I've actually one of those actors that now can watch myself. When I first started out, I did not like watching myself, but I really learned that if I want to be a director or a producer, you really have to learn to be objective. And so I usually go through a thing, which someone said, oh, that makes sense. When I told another actor, I was like, my first one, I usually just get out of the way, and it's like the vanity one. I'm like, oh, why do I look like that? Or why does this? Or why did that? Which I'm getting better at. There's like those kind of surface things that stick out to you because of the vanity element of it. And then the second one, I'm actually able to watch my performance as an actor and kind of, dissect what did I like, what did I not like, and not judge it and criticize it, but to actually go, oh, I liked that take. Oh, that thing didn't work, and really be objective to it. And then the third time I watch something is usually when I go, okay, how did it fit the story as a whole? Like, did I check the boxes of, because when you're acting, especially on a show or movie, it's not just about you and your character. You're telling a story as a whole. And so everything is intertwined. And so you really have to make sure you're kind of, I think that's why table reads are so great too, because you're kind of getting to see like, okay, how do all these things intersect? They're happening differently. They might not interact with each other, but how do they actually intersect? That was a really long answer. Oxford. I think someone said, say hi to Julia and say hi to Tori. So hi, Julia. Hi, Tori. Habibi. I learned that. I remember that one. Habibi. Who want to go into the acting industry? Okay, I'm going to remember that question, but I'm also going to... Okay, here we go. My first impression when I read Heather's introductory scene was like, ooh, sexy. I think I just remember it being like, it was fun. She was playing this cat and mouse thing. It was also so vastly different from Maya that there was this anxiety and nervousness about like, oh my gosh, can I do this? But also so much fun. Like, it's such a fun scene to basically be a tease. Yeah, and I don't know if Maya ever really did that. So it felt so good to be doing something so different. And that does not mean I miss Maya and will forever miss Maya. I love playing Maya, but it was fun to put on kind of, a different hat and do something completely different. But I remember going like, ooh, sexy. And then I remember being like, oh God, I think she's naked. I was like, got a little nervous about that because I was also in the Maldives at the time. And so I knew I had to fly. I think it was from Paris to Atlanta and then Atlanta to Milan. And I knew, I was like, you're on vacation. You don't want to have to be like, you know, trying to not eat bread. And I was like, oh, okay, fine. So Macy was very supportive because we danced and we had a great time, but we did not make it all about food, which is hard because I love food. I love food. Is there a particular role or type of role or character I haven't played yet but would love to? I get this question a lot. Yes, I would love to do a period piece. I would love to play more women in history. Like I even just watched Lee with Kate Winslet, and I just find as a woman those films or a TV show that exists like just so inspirational because you just don't see them. I think all stories of many people throughout history and what people did and all that kind of stuff in an entertaining way. It's a really great way to also digest historical figures, because sometimes that stuff can be like you're watching, you know, the History Channel, which some people love, but sometimes that can be, you know, boring. So it's nice when you get to see projects that are entertaining, that have to do with people that made a difference in the world or people you just didn't know about. You know, I didn't know what an amazing impact she had in the pictures she took and what she experienced. And so I was really moved by that. So I would love to be able to play a historical female character and in that way also being able to be in a period piece. I would love to. People that have done period pieces always tell me, they're like, yeah, wait until you do it and then you're gonna be like, no, because of the clothes and everything. And I'm like, I think I would love it. I like the challenge. What's harder, crying on cue or try not to laugh at the wrong time? Probably try not to laugh at the wrong time, because once you get the giggles on set, it is really hard to stop. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's exhaustion, if something's in the stage air, but if you get giggles in between a scene, like I don't know how people do comedies like where they break and they can't. It's like people on, you know, you see people crack on SNL or something, and I'm like, how do they ever save, like how do they get out of that? Like I can't. Once I start laughing, it's really hard. Like I've literally had, I think it was one, I was just like, you know what, this is as good as it's gonna get. Like I'm trying to not laugh, but like, this is just move on. This is as good as it's gonna get. I think this is meant, if I was in a time machine or had a time machine, would I go in the past or the future? I think the way I'm interpreting this is I would be able to go and come back. And for me, I think I would go forward. Well, I guess I said that, like, you know, and then come back to the present, just to kind of like, who wants to not have I would love to have a crystal ball and be able to see, like, is all of this, am I doing all the right things? Because we don't know. We're all figuring it out as we go along. So I think it would be really cool to be able to go forward and at least get some validation that, like, you know, you're on the right track, kid, keep going. So yeah, I don't need to go in my past. Like, I lived it, I experienced it, I've had some amazing memories, but no, I don't need to. There's no like desire I have, I feel like, to relive my younger years. 20s were hard. They were really hard. So I don't have the desire to want to relive my 20s. Someone said, imagine you design a perfume called Savory. Oh, that's actually a good idea. And you have to say like that, Savory. What would it smell like? I tend to like muskier smells. You know, like Tom Ford has one that's really great, or what's the other one that's really good? I mean, I love Le Labo too. Stuff that's, it tends to be, I would say, musky, sandalwood, and a little bit of like vanilla, not too sweet. That would kind of be my go-to, I think, if I know scents well enough. That was me calling out stuff that I'm pretty sure sandalwood is what I'm thinking of when I think of musky. Let's see. I love this, and this is like, so for people that don't know, I like Taco Bell. Maybe love. Love is the word, I think. And there's an interesting dynamic of like, I don't know, it's a dynamic. It just is it's my go-to if I want like a cheap comfort food. Like, you know, sometimes you're just like, I want that thing. And for some reason, Taco Bell's always done it for me. And it's kind of a running joke now, because everywhere I go, like I was just in Spain, I saw Taco Bell. I was like, this is amazing. And they sell beer at the Taco Bell. Like what? And restaurants taste different, or fast food restaurants taste different in every country. It's the like kind of mind-boggling to me. But my Taco Bell order, like my main Taco Bell order, and my friends could all recite this too, is a bean and cheese burrito, no red sauce, no onions, add sour cream. That is basically my go-to. It's not like I eat a bunch of the things there. I usually order a bunch more, like to the point where it's silly that why am I ordering all this? I'm not gonna eat it. But my go-to is that bean and cheese burrito with beans, cheese, sour cream, no red sauce, no onions. Is that weird? I'm so happy somebody watched the short film Caller, which I love. I did that with Rowan. It was so great to be a part of it and so much fun. That was my first time kind of playing, I think, at that point, a detective, but also to know that that was based off of a real story. So I think I really love that. Let's see. Come to Mexico, get real tacos. Like, I am very aware, just so everyone knows, that like Taco Bell is not proper Mexican food. Like, it is not. I don't think anyone who, you know, loves and appreciates Mexican food is going to Taco Bell, but it's, for some reason, it's a comfort food of mine. It was amazing having Aspen for the final of Station 19. It was let's see, who said that? I feel like yeah. I lost my train of thought. What was I saying, guys? What was I saying? I hate when I do this. Someone said, you should do ASMR. I do kind of joke about that every once in a while. I actually, for those that don't know, did my first audiobook, which I'm so excited about. It's coming out in October. I'll post about it soon. But yeah, I did an audiobook, and I was like, oh wait, okay, I can do the like quiet talking thing. Although it's hard to keep yourself like serious. Oh, someone asked about Aspen. That's what it was. I was like, what was the question? How was having Aspen for the final? It was amazing. She definitely didn't seem like she loved it, to be honest. She was like, what are you doing? Why are we here? And it was such a short thing to shoot, but it definitely felt like she was like, I'm good. And it was sunny, you know, like it's hard with kids because like with us actors, you know, we wear parkas when it's 100 degrees outside because the thing is supposed to be in winter. And then we wear bathing suits when it's, you know, 32 degrees outside because it's supposed to be summer. Like as an adult, you realize that that's part of the game. But as a kid, she's like, why are we sitting here staring at all these lights and they're bright? And she's like this. And I don't think it was her favorite thing, but it was fun to have her on set. She enjoyed the set part. You know, I think on the day I was really trying to like make her enjoy it because I was like, oh no, I don't know if she likes this. So it gave me a little bit of anxiety, but I think she had a lot of fun. And then going back to the ASMR thing, which just always makes me laugh, is I always see that woman on TikTok and then all the videos about it of like the woman that's like, I woke up in the middle of the night and made homemade Cheerios. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, this woman, like I'm at the same time completely intrigued and impressed by this woman. And like just fascinated, but she does the voice thing where she talks about making like homemade Cheerios and stuff. And does anyone know who I'm talking about with this? It was like, I get it why people are mesmerized. Good luck with your studies, Erica. Yes, I remember when I was in the movie Bring It On All or Nothing as Brianna. It's yes, it's a very core memory in my head. I'll tell you a story about Bring It On All or Nothing that I don't think I've ever told before. Is when I was auditioning for Bring It On All or Nothing, we had to do like a dance cheerleading audition. Like we had to be trained by a choreographer and see how well we were able to take direction and dance. And I did it, and I mean, I have a whole history of dance, so that wasn't the issue. But I went so for it, and at one of the points, I had to whip my head forward. And I whacked, I still have actually I still have a scar here. I whacked my head and it busted open my eyebrow and I started bleeding. So I bled for the role of Bring It On or Nothing. So yes, I remember it. And it was another role I got to do with Hayden, which was amazing because in those younger years, me and her got to do a couple roles together, which was all just by what's that? Surprise, you know, it was just kismet. It was very cool. And then Francie, I'm still friends with to this day. I'm actually going to see her next week for dinner. Ecuador is here as well. Okay. Let's see. I think my favorite superhero, someone just said my favorite superhero. It's a fun question. I really love Black Widow. I don't know why. I just do. I gravitate towards anything Scarlett Johansson does, and she's a badass, and Florence Pugh, so I like them in that movie, but I don't know a lot about superheroes, so don't like hold me to this. Oh my God. The electrocution story. I'm going to go through some questions, and then if we have time, maybe I'll do the electrocution story at the end. Yes, I have been electrocuted. Not once, but twice. To the point where I had to go to the hospital. Let's see. How do I prepare for a new role, and how do you start to build a character? I think it varies. It's hard to always answer some of these questions because every project is different, and it's very different from television to film. You build a character by really reading. I've always believed, personally, everyone has a different process, by reading that script over and over and over and over and over and over and over until it doesn't feel like you're performing anymore. It feels like it's just instinctual. I think that's really important for me. And I like to read it because I really like to understand, I think, like I said earlier, that this is, you're creating a story that's a whole story. It's not just your character. And I think a lot of times we get wrapped up in our character, and I think it's important to really understand everything. And then you can really, I think it helps me at least go, okay, what role is my character playing in this, in the whole story? And then I think you build it over time. With television, you really build it over time, because you're getting scripts and things are evolving and stuff happens that sometimes you're like, wait, what? I didn't know that my character's going to do this. I didn't know my character had that in her backstory. Like, you're kind of discovering stuff as it goes along. So you'd want to be pretty flexible in regards to the past. But I also think there's an element with television that if you play it a certain way, if you make a very strong choice in how you perform a scene over here, it usually will also impact the writing of how they're like, oh, that gave me ideas. The fact that she had that layered in of what her character was doing makes me kind of go, okay, we can play off that. And so, yeah, it's a process. Like, that's a beautiful thing about acting is it's constantly an evolution, and you're kind of experimenting a lot of the time. I mean, some people are very good at doing a certain role and they do it again and again and again, and that's completely fine. They're mastering that specific character. I tend to really like to get into different characters. I tend to sometimes get a little like, okay, where does this character go now? And I think that's what was interesting. And one of the questions I remember getting was, where would you see Maya next? Like, what would her next chapter be? And I struggled with it. I remember that final season, I was like, where do you go from here? Like, where does Maya go? We've done all the big, big storylines. And the only thing that really ever came to my mind that we missed getting to tell was the actual storyline of Maya being pregnant, carrying a child while trying to balance out her career, because real firefighters, female firefighters, have to deal with that. So I think I was very intrigued as to like playing that storyline out and to really see what that would have done, and again, how impactful that would have been for people, because it would have been interesting to play it myself. So yeah, that's the only thing I can really think of. But besides that, you start to get to a point where you're like, I don't know where else a character could go. And that's where writers step in, and they make it amazing and wonderful. And that's why writers are amazing. Okay, let's see. So what things do you enjoy most when you spend time with fans? What things do I enjoy and value the most whenever I spend time with fans? Just connecting. I mean, everyone knows I love hugs. It's a big thing of mine. I do this thing with my hair, guys, by the way, all the time, because I always have this thing about my hair getting flat. So I do this thing. And it's like, I would say it's like a nervous tick almost. I'm like, I'll catch myself doing it all the time. Anyways, random tangent. I love getting to hug and connect with fans. I love it. There's nothing better than it. It really means a lot to me for a lot of reasons. It's hard to kind of pinpoint exactly, but I really love getting to connect with the people that I don't know, that's just somehow the character I played resonated with them, and there's a bond that we share together by me playing that character and by someone having it having a profound impact on somebody. But I think there's also a world that I always had that film or that movie growing up that did the same for me, that it really impacted my life, right? You watch something and you go, oh my God, that project that, made me go, oh my God, I can go to therapist, or the project that made me see a woman in a powerful position and go, oh my God, I can do that. I think we all have those. And I can really relate to people that watched Station 19 and it changed their lives. And I have had those TV shows and movies, and I still have them. Watching Lee 100% inspired me. It changed, in a sense, it changed my life. So I think it's really great to connect with people that really, at the end of the day, we all have a love and a passion for characters and stories and beautiful stories that are being told. I love Africa. It says, do you have another plan to visit Africa again? And yes. For the firefighter on here, thank you for all that you do. Watching my sister be a firefighter, getting to play one is one thing, but getting to watch actual firefighters, the hours you work and the mental toll it takes on you and the physical toll it takes on you is astounding. So I applaud you for that. Did Steph teach me any Italian? No, I always say that. I'm like, wow, this is a missed opportunity. I learned like no Italian in how many years? I think it was because she was always trying to get better at not speaking Italian, because she was trying to, Peter Page was always like, I can't understand you. I need you to talk slower. I need you to try to not. And so I think she was trying to not speak Italian because her accent would get so strong that it was sometimes hard to understand. So I have never gone to Beyonce concert. Someone said, have you been to Beyonce concert? I haven't. Anyway, next question. Let's see. I'll do this. If Ford could speak for one day, what would be the first thing he'd say? Fordy, come here. I woke him up from the nap. He was still sleeping. That was me. Bubba's. Come here. Come here. What would you say if you spoke? What would you say, huh? I mean, I hope he would say like, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Like, come here. He's like, I'm literally waking up. He's just, laying down. Hi, Bubba's. I'm sorry, I woke you up from a nap. I'm sorry. Ford. I know. I missed you. Let's see other questions. Oh yeah. Tell me, Ford, tell me. Let's see. What makes you excited or want to say? Do you guys hear him? Yeah. Oh, buddy, your breath smells. So the question is what makes me excited, or what I want to say when receiving a new script for a role? I think the excitement just comes in getting to play a new character, the challenge. Yeah, big yawns. I think it's the challenge for sure. I think I really love that adrenaline you get and that excitement you get to immerse yourself in a new character and say another writer's words and just the creative process. It's that's why I'm an actor. That's why I'm in this industry, because this industry is not easy. For anyone who wants to get into it, support you. I will always give advice and notes, but it's not easy. He's done. He's like, you're not snuggling with me. I'm taking a nap. I'm sorry. So yeah, I think you have to really love it, and I really love it. So when you get that new script, there's just something so amazing. When you get a new script and you're getting to delve into a new character. I love it. And the collaborative process of it all. What's the one thing you could not live without? I was going to say Ford, but I always am like, one day that's going to happen and I'm going to be really, really, really sad. What is one thing I could not live without? I don't know. Like, I'm thinking of materialistic things, but I don't think there's anything from a materialistic standpoint that I couldn't live without. I don't know. Let me think about that. Have you heard of Letterboxd? I haven't heard of this. Or maybe I have. Why does this sound familiar? What would be my top 4 films of all time? This is a tough one. As an actor, this is like the impossible question that a lot of us actors, every time we get it, are like, ugh. The truth is like there was movies that profoundly impacted me. Like G.I. Jane was one that watching Demi Moore be just a badass and fight against every stereotype, even every hurdle to be a woman in a male-dominated world. I loved G.I. Jane. I loved it. I thought it was phenomenal. And then there's some other phenomenal movies that I just loved. I mean, yeah, it's hard to pinpoint. Like, I think Shawshank Redemption is almost a perfect movie. But I don't know if it's something I want to watch over and over and over again. I always enjoy it when I watch it, but it's kind of one of those ones that I'm like, is it my go-to when I want to watch a movie? G.I. Jane would be more of a go-to if I was like, I want to watch a movie that's gonna like, So G.I. Jane, I loved Dirty Dancing. I love Fifth Element. I would say Fifth Element might be up there. Like G.I. Jane, Fifth Element. I don't know. It's always hard. This is always a hard one because you kind of have this mind that's like, okay, well, do I pick the films that are the most like amazing and wonderful to watch and have had such a profound impact in the world of cinema? Because there's those, and then there's the ones that you just love to watch. Okay. So probably, I just thought about this, was Elf. Elf is just a really good feel-good movie. And then, so we got Elf, G.I. Jane. I'm not going with like the ones that have, let's see, what does that say? Someone said, do I still put candy in my pockets? Anyways, I'll try to think of that fourth one, but I think so far we've got Fifth Element, G.I. Jane, Elf, and what's like a feel-good movie that just makes me like, it's interesting, the movie that came up was, weirdly enough, oh no, those ones are great too. I mean, I feel like any 007 movie, my mom was a big lover of James Bond films and Indiana Jones films and Tommy Lee Jones films. And Harrison Ford. It's basically why Ford is called Ford, is because of Harrison Ford, for those that don't know. And so I grew up on all those films and I really love them. So they do just make me feel warm and fuzzy. I couldn't tell you which one is my favorite, I think, out of all of them. Maybe like the 007. I really like the Daniel Craig era of the 007 movies. So anyways, yeah. Let me go to this a little bit. I'll go to some questions. Do I ever speak a bit of German? All I know is Ich liebe dich. That's like all I got. And Prost. Have I watched Criminal Minds? Everyone always asks about this, and they're asking because of AJ Cook. I have absolutely watched Criminal Minds. It's one of my mom's favorite shows. I never, nor did my mom, ever saw the comparison of me to AJ Cook, but then when I told her that everyone thought I looked like AJ Cook, she was like, yeah, I see it. So my mom absolutely agrees with everyone. And it's hard for me to see it, but that's like when people say me and my sister look alike. I'm seeing it now, but for years I was like, no, we don't. So I think it's always harder to see because it's actually hard to really, I don't actually know how you guys see me. I think that's just part of life. It's hard for us to really get a full, authentic picture of how people see us. So, but I get it. Yeah. And would I want to play, I think someone said, would I want to play her sister or something? Like, yeah. I think it'd be a lot of fun, especially if it was a really fun project to do. Or does she have a sister on Criminal Minds? Because they revamped that. Like, yeah, hey, hello, I'm available. I've never run a marathon. I've run a 5K, but I've never run a marathon. I don't know why. I've tried to with Kendall and Courtney. They've done a couple, and I was really wanting to. And both times they happened during conventions, actually, when I was in Europe. So, I keep. Do I want to play more queer characters? Absolutely. I think I went on a couple. Yeah, absolutely. I can't read that before it goes away. I can't. It went way too fast. Oh, she had a sister on Criminal Minds. Okay, so the role was already taken, and they didn't ask me for it. This earring is forever just not happening, guys. It's a cute earring, but it does not want to stay in my ear. I think the back of it is, it's very loose for some reason. Okay. I'm very excited to come to, what is that? Did you answer that? Yes, all of these questions I'm listing are from the story box or the question box that you guys, there's this thing at the top of my, there we go. All of these questions are questions you guys submitted. These are not questions I made up. So just so you guys know, someone said, are you answering questions from that? Anything in Italian. What is it? I always get it a little wrong. No, because now all I can think in my head is Ich liebe dich. I'm going to say it wrong, so don't get mad at me. The Italian's on here. È stato un piacere. I know I'm saying the piacere wrong. I know I am because I get told I say it all the wrong. I love the pastries in Portugal. You guys, the something pastry de nata, I'm saying it wrong, is so good. So good. Okay. I go back and forth. Questions here, questions here. The earring did have enough. It was like, girl, we're over this. Bye. Let's see. If you could experience anything again for the first time, what would it be? I think probably like there's multiple elements of that. Like the day I got Ford was a pretty amazing day. Like I'll always remember it as such a warm, fuzzy day. Like just him just snuggled on me the day I got Ford. So I'll never forget that. You know, it was like all these people coming into my life. It's like the day that, you know, everything, you know, that Aspen was born and everything was good. I mean, that was a wonderful day and moment. And then probably from like, you know, the littler things is like the first job I ever booked. The first, I think, would it be Kaya? That was like the first big job I booked. I was just so excited about like getting that call and realizing that all those auditions and all those no's actually worked out, that you finally got a yes. So the earring said, wrap it up. Girl, we still got 13 minutes. How did I feel about Maya getting attacked in the car wash? I mean, Maya getting attacked in the car, I had some thoughts on that. I was like, I'm confused. I remember it happening. I'm like, is Maya just distracted? Like, what is happening? I was like, this would never be something Maya would do. I was like, axe wielding, like tough Maya that like blackmails her bosses and stuff. And, you know, I just did not see, it was hard for me to imagine. It was hard for me to imagine that would happen. It felt very silly of Maya, but it was fun to shoot. And it was really fun to shoot with Lauren, my stunt double. And yeah, there's a picture that lives on between, that is of the two of us. And it was a really fun day to shoot. So I loved that. I still don't put candies in my pockets because a lot of times I don't even have pockets. But when I was playing a firefighter with my turnouts, I mean, I loved keeping snacks and stuff in my pockets. A lot of times it's really hard. I am an actor who doesn't like people waiting on me. It's not a thing. Like a lot of people, I get it. It actually makes logical sense. Like there's somebody that's hired by production to be the person that gets your water and gets your food because they want you to be able to stay in character and do your things and stay in one spot. And like, you know, it makes everything move faster. And I'm just someone who doesn't really love that. I feel really weird asking someone to get me a water or getting me food. So a lot of times, like those turnouts were brilliant because like snacks and waters and stuff I would just put them in my pockets. It was the best thing ever. I will miss that. That is actually something I'm going to forever miss. My advice for people who want to get into acting, because, you know, I'm an actor and this is a platform, I might as well talk about that. You have to really believe in yourself. You have to be perseverant. You have to have perseverance. You have to have perseverance. And it's really just persistence. There's that saying, I'm not going to remember it right now because I always forget things. You know, practice, opportunity meets luck. You guys know what I'm talking about. There's a saying out there that it's very important for the industry in being an actor, is just that like a lot of the work that's done as an actor is actually done not in front of the camera. It's those years of reading up on Lee Strasberg and Adler and Stanislavski and all of these things and learning about the method and learning to get comfortable in your own skin and to be able to you know, have empathy for people and your characters that you're playing. And like, it's like, even therapy is a huge element, in my opinion, of acting, because it makes me as a person get really deep to be able to actually understand the characters I'm playing even more. So acting is really all the work you do about it. It's not like you wake up one morning, you get a job, and that's when you act. Acting is really, really, really about tons and tons and tons of preparation and being persistent, that you're going to get the ratio of the yeses versus the nos, like when people know, like, is crazy. Like, I think people were shocked when I said, like, I probably auditioned for, I don't know, 50 to 100 things since Station 19 ended. Like, you're auditioning all the time. All the time. Unless people don't. There's a lot of people that don't audition. That's not me. I audition. I actually love auditioning. I kind of look at them as little mini plays. Like, I'm getting a chance to practice this muscle that I have, this tool I have. And so what I will say with acting is it's not about getting the jobs. It's about the work you do prior to getting the jobs. And the jobs just kind of fall into place. You don't have control. You have zero control. All I can do is give my interpretation of a character for an audition or a meeting or a Zoom or an in-person, and give my interpretation, stand by my way of wanting to do something, and then see what happens. And you're either right for it or not. It's so many creative minds coming together. Or, you know, they went with the wrong person. You're like, you should have gone with me and the thing didn't do well. But that being said, like, it's a creative space. So my note to actors would just be like, go easy on yourself, believe in yourself, and just immerse yourself in everything from theater to movies to TV to character study to reading books, so all of that. Someone said, do I dream as Maya? No, I do not dream as Maya. I'm sorry if that's a disappointing answer, but I do not dream as Maya. Let's see. That's it. What is one part? Okay, so these two ones, I know it's the last 8 minutes, so there's a quick fire round. Let's see, so I'll do those. Is there one part of your creativity that you haven't been able to tap into yet? I think it's always evolving, but like, I'm really enjoying now creating with Emily Culver, one of the writers of Station 19, and we're working on a script, and we finished the first draft, or maybe like the third draft technically, but like the first like solid draft, and I'm really getting to be creative from from the beginning point of inception. What am I trying to say? You know, from that moment where it all kind of starts, and it's really a creative tool that I've read scripts my whole life, and I've been acting for so long, but it's at the same time like, you know, this is a different thing, and I'm really enjoying the creative process of that, and doing audio stuff. Like, everyone knows I want to do an animated character so badly. I want to play an animated character in a TV show, in a movie. Like, I love it. That would be my fourth favorite movie. My fourth favorite movie has got to be like an animated movie. I don't know which one. Like, so many came to my mind when I said that. Mulan, Tarzan, Finding Nemo. There's so many good ones. Frozen. Like, it's so great. I love animated movies, but if I could play an animated character. So I'm going to do some quick fire questions. So no coffee or Red Bull for the rest of your life. Which one would I choose? I would say no Red Bull. You guys, I don't love Red Bull. Red Bull serves a purpose. And in most things, like, there's a point when coffee just doesn't cut it. And it's not like my favorite thing. It's when I'm like, I should probably take a nap now, but I just can't. So Red Bull is what cuts it. So we'll do that. So yes, no coffee or Red Bull. I would say no Red Bull. Would I rather be a whale or a hippo? I think the better question is, would I rather be a quokka or a hippo? Out of a whale or a hippo, I'd say hippo. Out of a quokka or a hippo, I don't know. That's a tough one. Would I rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? That might be the weirdest question I've ever been asked. I would rather fight 100 duck-sized horses, because a horse-sized duck sounds terrifying. If I could be a kitchen utensil, what would I be and why? I don't know. A kitchen utensil, not just like silverware, a kitchen utensil. What a great question. If I could be a kitchen utensil. Guys, give me some ideas of what kitchen utensils would be. What would be a kitchen utensil in your mind? Like, what are they all? These are all great questions. You guys are asking great questions, but I need to know kitchen utensils. Hi, Clara? No one is telling me kitchen utensils. You guys are leaving me hanging. I don't know what kitchen utensil would be. I'm sorry. I know it's rapid fire, but I have no idea what kitchen utensil. I guess a spoon, you know, because like, I don't know. A spoon feels like it's the most like loving utensil. Fork is pokey and a knife is pokey, and I guess I would be a spoon, you know? Tongs, whisk. Oh, here we go. They're coming through. Tongs, whisk, spatula, fork. I wouldn't be a fork. Fork seems aggressive. Yeah, in the end, I think I'm just gonna go with spoon. Thank you guys though. Thank you for coming through with all of these. A pan, that would be a utensil. Happy birthday to all those people that have said, tell me happy birthday. Happy birthday. I hope everyone is having a great day. Oh, thanks guys. Okay, what was this one? Would I rather be the driver or the passenger? Driver. I'd rather be the driver. My favorite chip and dip combo. I love tortilla chips with queso. I tend to not love a lot of other potato chips. And if I do, they're usually something like sea salt and vinegar, or there's one in the UK that I love, the sea salt and apple cider vinegar. Oh my God, it's so good. But I don't tend to love a ton of dips with chips. So I would say my go-to, the closest thing I could think of would be tortilla chips with queso. I love it. Or a nachos, like in the state, just dump the stuff on. Oh, so good. Long haul or short haul flights? I mean, it depends where you're sitting. If I'm sitting in like some bougie first class to like part of the plane, like I'll take the long haul. Like it is fun. I did it the once when I went to when I went to Africa and I flew, why am I forgetting? Emirates. And I did it. I treated myself. It was a little present and I did it. And it was, I mean, guys, it's like a bucket list. Like they serve you the coffee, the food, the things, it lays down. You watch movies the whole time. And like you're forced to, you just have to. Like, it's like someone like me, it's great. I'm like, awesome. I'm forced to just sit here and sleep and enjoy TV. And I loved it. So yeah, I would say it depends where you're sitting on the plane, but I've gotten very good at flying, but I obviously, if it's a long haul flight, I would prefer to sit in, you know, the seats where they give you food and they lay back flat. But I just love going places. I've always said that if I had a superpower that it would be like teleporting, because the hardest thing is to get from A to B, which is funny that we've had a question about flights and a question about cars, but it's one of those things that like, I don't really love having to sit in a car for, 7-8 hours. I don't love having to sit on a flight for those many hours, but you have to do it to get to the destination. And I always love the destination. So that's, yeah. You guys, it's almost over. We've got 2 minutes. I'll go through here and I will see 2 more questions on here because I want to make sure I take a little break, change my outfit for the TikTok live. For those of you that are on TikTok, I don't know if I want to end with the electrocution story. If you go to TikTok, maybe I'll do the electrocution story on TikTok. I can't even do the electrocution story in 2 minutes. Happy birthday, Kate. Happy 18th birthday. Okay, the life advice I would give to teenagers would be go easy on yourself. Being a teenager is really tough. And especially like the social media doesn't help. And I really feel for teenagers of this generation just in regards to that, but also the teenagers of this generation are so much more accepting for a lot of things, but also it's tough. And I think that age in general, regardless of what generation you are, it's a lot of trying to figure life out, trying to figure yourself out. There's a lot of emotions and a lot of hormones and a lot of things. And it's just it can be amazing. Like just live in the moment because there's so many amazing moments and memories that you'll never get back. But also just go easy on yourself, Don't beat yourself up about things. Don't compare yourself to others. Really, really try to hone in on what makes you happy at that age, what brings you joy and happiness, and focus on that. And try not to be like, oh, I need to be and I have to change who I am for these people because that I want to be friends with. Like, no, be you, be yourself. And, whether that's quirky or weird or whatever, what's weird, right? What was considered not normal, and embrace that. And you'll find your tribe, So that's all I can say when you're younger. I'll do one last question because it's 12. Oh gosh. Hi, Sarah. Okay, I can't find one more question. I might just have to say bye, guys. They'll be on the TikTok live. Great. I'm excited to see those that can come to the TikTok. I'll be excited to that. Okay, I'll answer with this one because it's a simple one. My favorite sport is hockey. I know some people think I say soccer or baseball because I tend to go to those, but I love the sport of hockey. I think it's a brilliant sport that I just don't understand how you skate on these thin little ice skates, on these thin little hockey skates. I should not say ice skates. I just insulted every hockey player. And you have a stick and a puck, and you got to hit it in a net that's basically completely filled up by a goalie. So I just am always in awe at how that sport even exists and how it's possible. And I just find it really fun to go to hockey games. So favorite sport would be hockey, even though I love all sports, but favorite sport would be hockey. Thank you guys so much for this. I had so much fun. I hope you guys did too. I hope for those that didn't get to attend the Chicago Con that this meant something to you, gave you a little, and I can't wait to see all of your pictures that you guys tagged me in that were either partaking in this or dressed up for it or whatnot. So love you guys. Someone said which team? Guys, I'm born and raised in Southern California. My team is the Kings. I just had to get very passionate about my city. I love you guys all. I'll see you guys on TikTok. Mwah! Oh, geez, I forgot how to, why do I always forget how to turn this off? Okay.